Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. It was a rough weekend. I'm getting back into the swing of things. This week might have multiple installments of flea market stories because it wasn't a particularly great sales weekend, but a lot of things I had to speak on for this past weekend. The last weekend was a great weekend. It was my biggest sales weekend ever, and I was a bit spoiled by it because I was expecting around the same level, but I shouldn't because it's the end of the month, and it was notably more, it was a warmer day, 2 days than the previous weekend. And the end of the month, usually historically, the worst sales day because people are getting all their money ready. They're getting all their money ready to pay all their bills that come due usually on the 1st. Car payments, house payments, all that kind of stuff usually. For most people, I'd say come due on the 1st. But in this installment, I'm going to talk about holding on to the sales. Now, I've talked in detail about cultivating the sales and the sales themselves. But just as important, if not more important, is holding on to those previous sales. And how you do that is key. Because it's all about the sales, of course. And a lot of people, they're just happy to sell things. But people can and will return things. They will have issues. And I was lucky in the fact that the 3 people returning things were very friendly people I had good relationships with, business, good rapport with and everything. Now, the first one, not really so much a return, is the guy that bought, the guy I played Jeopardy with. I guess we was just so, into playing Jeopardy, I suppose. I made a bit of an error, which is the controller I gave him was a black controller without one of the backs on it. But I quickly rectified that, apologized, and said, I got a lot of those here. And then he had the controller himself that he brought, and we make sure that it worked. And he still wasn't happy with my movie selection, but I'm going to tell him, hey, I'm not really focusing on movies a whole lot, and he's really hard to please when it comes to movies. He really is. He looked at 2.5 Men, and it's a sealed season 1, but he wants the entire series. So I don't really know what to do. I'm just trying to make this guy happy just to hold on to that previous sale. So I take the sealed season 1, 2.5 Men, and I go, I'll tell you what, I'll say this for you when I get all the rest of them. I'm like, how many seasons are there? But the odds of me actually getting those at a decent price, sealed also, they wouldn't have to be sealed. Those are very rare. That's just a move just to kind of make him happy. Yeah. And I got to get Glimmerman and On Deadly Crown. I might get one of those. Yeah. But that's one aspect of the holding on to those sales. And he's there every weekend, so he's a very important customer. So certain customers, good customers, you have to hold on to the old sales and you have to make them happy. If you make them happy, then that gets you halfway to holding on to the previous sales. But nothing wrong with his Jeopardy system. He was happy with it except for the back just not being on that. The second was a more difficult situation because it was people that could not speak English. And I had to use the text app on the phone. I also got some assistance from a Hispanic guy that I'm kind of good buddies with to the right of me. But he seemed confused with the whole translating process because he was talking to him what I was saying, but he didn't tell me. He forgot to tell me what he was saying. But still, anything is appreciated, I guess. He brought back Halo 4 because he told me it wouldn't install. I'm thinking, okay, he must have a 4 gigabyte or an Xbox that doesn't have the hard drive. Okay, simple fix. I didn't understand what he wanted at first. I didn't know if he was returning those or wanted similar type games because he just kind of showed them to me, but he showed me on his phone that they wouldn't install his hard drive. So he didn't want cash back, thankfully. He wanted just to replace those games with 2 other games. And then I'm looking at the amount, and I don't think he cared about the amount. He just wanted 2 other games because I'm thinking, it's Halo 4 and it's GTA 5, so that's what I charge for those. It's $45. So am I going to have to give him multiple different games to make up to the 45? I noticed on the GTA 5, it didn't have a price sticker on it. Also noticed it had the stickers to the right that were still on it. Not stickers, but, when you open it, you cut the seal. The seal was still on there, meaning GTA 5 is something he didn't get from me. But maybe he got confused thinking he got that from me. But you know what? Not a big deal. I'm sure GTA 5 is probably a better game than the other one I sold him, so I didn't say anything. I'll take that one. The discs were in there, so hey, if he thinks he got from me, he got from me. Maybe he just didn't remember. That's fine. So we worked things out, and I got him 2 games, and I showed him the games that, he selected. He selected 3. Project Gotham Racing, GTA 4, and what was the other one? It was Forza. So Forza, Project Gotham Racing, and GTA 4. And I showed him while he was looking through games, I put GTA 4 on and said, this one, it's a GTA, doesn't require a hard drive installation. And of the other games, he chose Forza 2 to be the game. So after he walked off, I gave him a handshake, and, now I know, I keep a record, that when that guy comes to buy games from me, he has to not have anything like a Far Cry 4 or a Halo 4 or something that requires a hard drive install like a Ghost or whatnot. And it makes me think also to verify and ask people if their system has a hard drive in it and space. But I don't know if that's just getting into it too much. I don't know. It's a thought I might ask. I might not remember to, but it's a good question to ask people. What kind of 360 do you have? But sometimes you don't have time to, because sales are coming like fast and furious and you don't have time to ask those things. But you need to be prepared for if someone comes back to have some games ready for them as suggestions, like a GTA 4 for a GTA 5. Okay. Now, the other situation was somebody bringing back Test Drive 5 from the week before, because it worked on their system when it was there. I tested Test Drive 5 for them. That's the main reason they got the PlayStation, because they wanted to play Test Drive 5 from their childhood. And he said it was sticking at the menu screen. So I was like, damn, I can clean it there. If I can't get it back to working, and I was thinking maybe his laser's messing up. So I told him various things to cause that. Probably a simple thing. Maybe there's some something on the disc. Maybe it's a thumbprint. Maybe it's something. I'm not sure. I said I would give it a cleaning and test it out. So as I was cleaning it, I was preparing for a situation where it didn't work. I would probably say, I have another copy at home, which would be a lie. I would say I have another copy at home. If you're here next Saturday or Sunday, I'll have you another copy. And, I think I have actually 2 other copies. If I do, I'll give you the one that's in the best condition. Also, would be a lie. But you have to go that extra mile. And Test Drive 5 is a game I could get really easily on eBay or something like that and have it. I could have 2 copies of it. Sometimes to not only protect the previous sale, but make them happy so they buy things in the future, I think that's key. Otherwise, you might say, we only got this PlayStation 1 to play that game, and if I can't, I'm going to bring it back and return it. You don't want that. Because not only do you have to pay them the money back, but they've soured on you, and they don't trust you in the future. And if they have friends that they'll bring by also to look at your game stuff, they're going to sour on you also. But thankfully, I got the Test Drive 5 working, and he even played it, raced a level in a Red Viper, which is his favorite car in the game, raced a level, and was fine. But I had to improvise, because this is on me. I was so hustled and bustled that weekend, I forgot the cleaner that I used to clean the disc. It's like a toothpastey type substance. It's basically, stuff you use to get scratches out of car paint. I forgot that stuff. So I was thinking, what the hell can I do? I was looking around, what the hell can I use here? Well, I bring a bag full of bottles of water, snacks, things of that nature. I prepare when I go there to the flea market. I noticed I had some toothpaste. Well, as he's not looking, I go into the bag. My hands are still in the bag, and I squeeze out some toothpaste onto my finger. And I start rubbing it on the disc, and then I use my buffer, which is like a drill with a buffer bit, to smooth it out. And I'm praying that it works. And it works without a hitch. So yeah, toothpaste is a possible thing that you could use. I use thick whitening toothpaste, which I was saving some to send to YouTuber Desparu. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know how I could send him things. I'm not sure. I usually don't send YouTubers things, especially not money. Only idiots give YouTubers money. But maybe I'd make an exception for good old Desparu, right? I'd leave a little note. I usually use this to clean my teeth and my game disc, but I think you need it a little more than I do. So this weekend was all about solving problems, protecting the sales. Also, I had 2 kids there Sunday, and they were just They were there for a while. They were playing games. I didn't want to get into it, but a big takeaway from when those two kids were there, they were really annoying, man, because I was there a little late. There's a reason I'll get into in the next installment of Flea Market Stories why I set up particularly late, but they were just there hovering around, and they wanted to play games, but they got near my table, and I'm all about my space. Don't get in my space. So I was literally almost having to physically move these kids from my space that were going to play the games, saying it takes about half an hour for me to set up all my game systems because I do it a certain way. I have the power supplies going at a certain angle. I have the sound bar. To set it up there, it's not set up for what I set up. So I have to use heavy things, to put the light things behind the heavy things. There's a certain way I set up to where stuff's not going to fall off the freaking table. And I'm saying, listen, it's going to be a while. Also, I could bring up okay, you guys are here playing games all day and you don't buy anything. Okay, so they wanted this switched out constantly. And I'm guessing back and forth. I'm is it better for them to be there playing games, having fun, being happy, to draw in sales? Because other people noticed that they were playing games. And that's cool. But once they start wanting games switched out, then that becomes a bit of an issue. And as I was, not really having issues per se with those two kids, Damien came by, who is seemingly a better changed Damien in respects, but still some things remain with Damien. Some things remain, meaning he doesn't have any money to buy games. He wants to always switch out games. And he asked me if I have Hunter Call of the Wild, which I thought he meant a newer game, and I said 360 don't have that. But apparently Hunter Call of the Wild is on 360. I'm not sure if that's the case. Is it Hunter Call of the Wild? I don't know. But I tell him I'm probably not going to have that game because it's not on 360, and he wants it, but if I go buy it, he's not going to have the money to pay for it. So this kid, right? This kid, I have Red Dead Redemption. I don't think I have it on display. He pulls it out. Copy of Red Dead Redemption. And then he puts it down. And then his mother is nearby, or parental guardian. And he's asking about Red Dead Redemption. And I said, well, no, you don't have any money to buy that. It's money. You don't have any money to buy that. So this little hustler, he asks his mama if he can have $1 to buy the game. I'm not sure if I heard him correctly, but he's like, Mama, can I have $1 to buy this? I'm like, this is an overconfident little fuck. You think he's going to get Red Dead Redemption for $1? When I correct him, I say, no, that's $25. You will need 25 ones to buy that game, not one. That does a disrespect of the highest nature to a near mint copy of Red Dead Redemption. No, it's not going to be $1. It's going to be $25. But then he's only 7, but he's pretty smart. He knows that I play and run the GTA games a lot, so he makes a sacrifice. He says, well, I'll switch you GTA 4 for it. He really cares about GTA 5. Doesn't care about GTA 4 a whole lot. I think to myself, GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption, probably get, more of a sale off of GTA 4 than Red Dead Redemption, or it'd be halfway. So I say, yeah, we'll do that. All right, we'll do that. I'll take that over the $1 for the game. Yeah, so we'll do that. And what's the other issue? There's another issue. I was all about solving problems that weekend, all about solving problems. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to redo my whole discount system. Right now, if you buy anything more than one item, I give you a discount. The more you buy, the more you save. That was a promotion. The more you buy, the more you save. But the problem is, I don't have signage clearly outlining that to people. And I'm going to go buy me some signs or get some on Amazon, little signs with little areas where you can have that. And also, that's going to make it look more like a professional store, having signage. Basically like a little stand, and I'll put it at the back of the, you've seen my game trays. I'll put it under, and I'm going to write on it, buy 2 games, get the third free. Ask for details. Or I'll have a little chart, buy 2, get the third free, buy 4, get the 5th and 6th free, and so forth and so on. So I'll tell people the more they buy, the more they get free. I think that's better to explain to people. The more games you buy, the more you get free. Then the more you buy, the more you save. Because then we take the whole discounting out of the equation. Because it was a slow weekend, and when it's a slow weekend, I think about the investments of the week and I go, yeah, you could have PlayStation Supercross for $5. I have 10 on there, they can have 5. There's one guy that he wanted, I think Escobar. He wanted GTA 5 for $20. It was 25. And at that point in that day, there were no sales that day. And I couldn't remember if he's a guy that bought a lot of game stuff from me before. He might have been somebody that's bought a lot of 360 game stuff from me before. And I said, okay, $20. I mean, I'm not losing money on it. I think I literally got that one for $5 from somebody, so I'm not losing money on it. But I don't like losing potential profit. So in that situation, I could explain, no, you get 2, you get to 33. Then he countered with when I said, the more you buy, I said, I do discounts on, more than one item. He was clear that he didn't want any other items. That's the first time anyone said, I'm just not interested in any other items. Which I shouldn't be surprised because that's a good response to there's a discount on more than one item. So the more I bring in, the more media, which is my plans to take away certain things like some toys, some Funko Pops. I'm just going all media. Because then I could say, listen, I can make an argument. I got about 500 bits of media here. I got CDs, DVDs, comics, games. You're telling me of all this stuff, you're only interested in GTA 5? Like, that's all you're interested in here? I doubt that if you really look around. But if it's over that, if it's GTA 5 specifically, then I know I'm going to sell that. And I can explain to him, like, yeah, I mean, I pay less than 24 of that, but I'm here to make profit. If I don't make a certain amount of profit on certain games, then I'm no longer going to be in business here. So if I have a lot of people coming by saying, hey man, just 20 this, then I'm like, okay, then I'm not going to have profit. I'm not going to be able to go to acquire all these different movies, CDs, comics, and games for people because I'm a one-person operation. So whenever you go around and you start to lowball people, you got to understand that they're not going to be around. And $25, it's a very reasonable price for a good copy of a game like GTA 5 that you're going to play for a long time. It's a highly entertaining game. It's not exactly Time Shock Pinball, which I sell for $5. Then a counter will probably, well, I can get this game for $5. I'm like, okay, you can. Then go find it. Then more power to you. Is it going to work? What kind of condition is it going to be in? You take that chance. But with me, I guarantee my stuff. And then that guarantee is why I charge more.